Bhakta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschata Deshatarine Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Today we'll just have the general discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam. The word Bhagavat means about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhagavan. About Bhagavan is Bhagavat or Bhagavatam. Also, the devotees of the Lord are also Bhagavatam because they are related to Bhagavan. About the Lord or related to Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, this knowledge about the Supreme Personality of Godhead comes from the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. At the time of creation, Brahma was the first person. He came from the spiritual, he came directly from Krishna's navel, directly from Krishna. The first jiva, soul, to come to the material nature. And so, whenever somebody comes to the material nature, one is in ignorance. Everybody in the material nature, when he comes, he is in ignorance. So Brahma also was in ignorance. That means Brahma did not have any knowledge. And when he began to wonder where he was, who he was, what he was supposed to do, there was nobody to answer Brahma. So this is how we can see that in order to have knowledge, no matter how exalted you are, you have to have a proper authoritative source. Brahma could have speculated, but Brahma didn't do that. He knew that speculation is not going to take him anywhere. Even Brahma, the most advanced living entity in this universe, even he did not resort to speculating about things. So this is how everybody must understand that knowledge must be received from an authoritative source, bona fide source. Like we see that even the alphabets, can anyone learn the alphabets by himself or herself? No. Even the alphabets we have to learn from somebody. So then Brahma thought that if he climbed down, he found himself sitting on a lotus. And he thought that if he climbed down the lotus, then probably he'll find out who he was. Or the questions he had could be answered. Who he was, where he was from, what he was meant to do. And Brahma climbed for a long, long time, but couldn't come to an end. It has been described in Bhagavatam that Brahma came very close to Krishna's, Mahavishnu's, or Garbhodakshay Vishnu's navel. He came very close to Garbhodakshay Vishnu. But can one see the spiritual entity with material eyes? No. With our material eyes, we can only see some material objects. Spiritual objects cannot be seen with our material eyes. So being frustrated, Brahma again came up and sat on top of the lotus. And he was wondering what to do. And then he heard the sound of the clashing of the waves created the sound that sounded like tapaha, tapaha. that sound actually inspired Brahma to do tapasya. That means withdrawing from external world and internalize himself. So he withdrew his senses and projected his senses internally. When he did that, he heard some sound. He heard the sound of Omkar, which sounded like Omkar, Om. But it has been described that sound was actually the sound of Krishna's flute. And from that, Brahma meditated on that sound of Omkar. And due to that meditation, the Vedic knowledge revealed in the heart of Brahma. From the sound came Gayatri, from Gayatri came Vedic knowledge. So, Veda, this is how Brahma received the Vedic knowledge, and he understood what he was meant to do, what he was supposed to do. That he was supposed to fill up the universe with living entities by giving them bodies. And so Brahma, from his mind, he created 4 sons, 4 Kumaras. But they were not interested in getting involved in materialistic affair to assist Brahma. So Brahma got upset with them. But he controlled his anger, because Brahma is so powerful that his anger can destroy somebody. And he felt that his sons, he should not destroy them. So Brahma controlled that anger. Although he controlled the anger came out from between his eyebrows. And that was Rudra, Lord Shiva, or Lord Shiva's manifestation in this material universe. So Rudra. And then again Brahma created 10 sons from his mind. Those 10 sons are 9 Prajapatis and Narada. Narad Muni was the youngest. So Narada was also like his other brothers, other 4 brothers. I am not interested in materialistic affairs. So Brahma didn't mind, okay, he's the youngest one. Let him fool around if he wants to. And one day Narad saw that Brahma was in meditation and tears were flowing from his eyes. His body was trembling. His hair was standing on end. Romancho kampashru tarango bhaju. So when he came back to out of his trance, Narad Muni asked Brahma, Father, I used to think that you are the greatest. Upon whom were you meditating? And meditating on him, you got such ecstasy. You experienced such ecstasy. So then, Brahma told Narad about Krishna. So this is how the Bhagavat parampara started. Knowledge about Krishna is coming now in another line. And other Prajapatis, through them Brahma established the Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda section of the Vedas. Karma Kanda is how to enjoy here. Karma Kanda section is giving the prescriptions for enjoyment. And But after all kinds of enjoyment, an intelligent person realizes that there is no enjoyment in this material world. Rather, this material world is a place of suffering. So this is the knowledge, real knowledge. Jnana Kanda. Then when one understands that this material nature is a place of suffering, then what does he want to do? He wants to get out of here. So this Jnana Kanda leading to liberation from this material bondage. Karma Kanda is leading to enjoyment or bhukti, and Jnana Kanda is leading to mukti. But mukti is not the ultimate. By becoming liberated from the material bondage is not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to become engaged after becoming liberated. And that engagement is bhakti. So this is how these are the three things: bhukti, mukti, and bhakti. Enjoyment, freedom from enjoyment, freedom from material bondage, and engagement in the liberated stage. So the enjoyment or engagement after liberated stage is devotion to Krishna, which was given by Narad Muni, which was given by Brahma to Narad Muni. So this is the line that is known as Bhagavat Parampara. The parampara that has been established by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. Krishna to Brahma to Narad, and like that. So this is the background of Srimad Bhagavatam. And this Srimad Bhagavatam has been presented by Vasudev in a literary form. Kali Yuga is a very difficult age, the age of Kali. Because Kali Yuga is the age of adharma. Kali Yuga is the age of sinful activities. So this is a very difficult age. And as a result of sinful activities, people will lose their memory, they lose their intelligence, they lose the duration of their life, they will lose all good qualities. Therefore, Krishna considered that there is a need to make this knowledge available to the living entities of the age of Kali. Therefore, Krishna empowered Vasudev. Vasudev is Krishna's literary incarnation. Vedas are vast. Bhurini, Bhuri Karmani. Vedas are, Bhurini means vast, and Bhuri Karmani in the Vedas, many different activities have been prescribed. Shrotabhani Vibhagashaha. Actually, that's why this Hinduism has become so complex or so confused. You see, other religions have their one scripture or at the most two scriptures. So they have their objective quite easily understandable. But when there are so many books, now this is the thing, When you go to primary school, how many books you have? Kindergarten children, just maybe one book. A, B, C, D. Now, as you go into higher classes, higher grades, the number of books increases. Then ultimately, when you come to the PhD, there are so many reference books, so many books. One full library is there. Now, if a layman is given an access to the library, he will naturally become confused. Therefore, the importance of a teacher is there. It's so important to have a teacher who actually percolates, summarizes the knowledge and presents it. That's why there is so much emphasis in the Vedic culture, the importance of finding a guru who can give the knowledge. Otherwise, you can see like people, those who don't have qualified gurus or qualified teachers, they become confused, and in course of time they become gurus and they confuse everybody else. That is what is happening with the Vedic culture today. Now we can see on the other hand, when we found one qualified teacher, then thousands of people got the real knowledge. Although they didn't come from a very educated background, educated in the sense they didn't have any knowledge about the Vedic wisdom in the West. They were just young boys and girls. But because they came across a qualified teacher, they got the right knowledge. So that's why the Vedas are pointing out the first consideration in Ado Gurvashraya. Ado means at the very beginning. Adi. Adi, from the Adi, word Adi means the beginning, comes the word Ado. At the beginning or at the very beginning, Gurvashraya, accepting the shelter of a bona fide teacher. And so Vedas was so vast that it was confusing. So Vasudev tried to simplify that for the people of the age of Kali. First he divided the Vedas into 4 sections. Rik, Sham, Jaju, Atharva. Prior to that there was no systematic presentation. The knowledge was there and students would study under the Guru. Guru would give the knowledge, they would hear once and remember. So that is how the knowledge was being transmitted beforehand. But in Kali Yuga, Krishna saw the people don't have that ability. Their memory is going to be very weak. And on top of everything, there will be Varna Shankar. Like no specific occupational engagement. Other ages, there were Varnashramas there, Brahmanas, study. And they were qualified, their intelligence was very sharp. Their memory was very sharp. So they are meant to cultivate the Vedic wisdom. Kshatriyas did their business, Vaishyas did their business, Sudras did their business. As far as studying the Vedas are concerned, it was the duty or the occupation of the Brahmanas. So that is how it all, it used to be practiced. But in the age of Kali, there is Varna Shankar. Everything is mixed up. And mixed up to the extent that everyone practically became a Sudra. So how can one get this very, very advanced spiritual knowledge. So that's why Vasudev started to divide or systematically present the Vedic wisdom. And then after doing that, he gave Mahabharata. And this particular, like Upanishads, Puran, Dharma Shastra, Samhitas, are very, very advanced studies. You need very advanced intelligence to study that. But here he gave Mahabharata for less intelligent class of people. For less intelligent class of people. Stri, Vaishya, and Sudra, and Dijabandhu. Those are born in a Brahmin family, but not Brahmins. Brahmin, qualitatively Brahmin. And so they are not generally, women are not generally into those in the Vedic time. They were not into their studies and things. They used to take care of the household. Then Sudras, they are not intelligent. And Dijabandhu, like born in a Brahmin or Kshatriya or Vaishya family, but they are not really qualitatively qualified to pursue their occupation properly. So that's why for them he gave Mahabharata. Mahabharata is a story. Through the story you are getting the right understanding. What is the right understanding? Virtue, virtuous people, and sinful people. And through the story, eventually you get to see that the virtuous people, pious people, good people, they win at the end. And sinful people are destroyed. So this is how Mahabharata is giving the lesson. When you read Mahabharata or Ramayana, you immediately see who to follow. I haven't, at least during my time in India, I haven't seen anyone who was supporting Duryodhana. But everyone is following Pandavas. So this is how you set the role model. Who should I become like? Who should be my role model? Arjun, Bhim, Yudhishthir. And what kind of character we should avoid? Duryodhana and Dushashan, Jarasandha, Shishupal. These are bad people. So common people, this is how we understand what should be done and what should not be done. That's why Mahabharata and Ramayana is very important for people to follow. It's not just stories, but through the stories you get the moral codes. And then, of course, in Mahabharata there is Bhagavad Gita. So, as I said, one needs a guru. Like somebody may say, for example, when I was young, my aunt used to read Mahabharata. And we children used to sit around and listen. Even when we would go to sleep, she would tell us the stories of Mahabharata. So this is how you grow up with the understanding of what is right and what is wrong, what should be done, what shouldn't be done. In a way, when I look at it, she was kind of my guru. She used to tell, she never explained, she just read and told the stories. But we got the understanding. She didn't explain Bhagavad Gita to me. But at least we understood that Bhagavad Gita is, and who Krishna is. But then because there was no education, there was no qualified teacher, we didn't understand. That way, younger generations are very fortunate, because from your childhood you are getting the right understanding. And like Krishna Kishore, from his school he got the training. There was one very nice devotee doctor there. Was he a doctor at the time, or he was still a doctor at the time? Rupa Gaur Prabhu. He lives in Ujjain now. With his family he moved to Ujjain. And he actually trained these young boys, school kids. So, due to Prabhupada's divine arrangement, things are happening. Like Thea came across Gaur Krishna Prabhu. And she was fortunate, she accepted. She stayed near Gaur Krishna Prabhu's house for 3 years, and I'm sure she got trained up by him. Param Brahma ran away from home and came to ISKCON. Then went to Radhakund, become a Babaji. So
then you delivered me.
Huh?
Then you delivered me.
No, Prabhupada delivered you. So this is how it's happening. And I also, somehow or other, I came across this Krishna book. Nectar of Devotion. And this is creating the good fortune for us. One teacher is creating such a wonderful institutional arrangement to distribute Krishna consciousness. And as a result of that, today we can understand what Vasudev, after doing all that, Vasudev was not satisfied. He was thinking that the job hasn't been properly established, properly accomplished. So then came Narad Muni. Just as Krishna at one point told Arjuna, Asuchananu sochastam pragavadangscha bhashase. You are lamenting over something that shouldn't be lamented for, and you are speaking like a wise man. Narad Muni also similarly told Vasudev, you have done so much, you have wrote so many volumes of books, but you haven't done the main job to glorify Krishna. And as a result of that, Vasudev, being instructed by Narad Muni, got 4 verses just describing who that person is, who existed beyond creation. Aham evasham evagre nannajjad asatparam. When nothing was there, I was there. Where I was there, spiritual world, this material nature was not manifest. And this personality is the source of everything. And that person is the dearmost friend of everyone. That's the bottom line of Bhagavatam. And establishing a loving relationship is the ultimate goal. And he elaborated that point. And that came as Srimad Bhagavatam. And this was given to Sukadeva Goswami. Vasudev gave this knowledge to Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami spoke this knowledge to Parikshit Maharaj. Suta Goswami happened to be there at that time. And then the sages of Naimisharanya, when they were performing a 1,000-year-long sacrifice, Suta Goswami spoke to them. And Vasudev noted that. Although his business is to present the literary work of Vedic wisdom. So what went between Suta Goswami and the sages of Naimisharanya, what happened between Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadeva Goswami, all that he presented. what happened between Maitreya and Vidura. He recorded. So Vyasdev, these are the conversation, discussions between the devotee and the student and the teacher. That is Srimad Bhagavatam, leading up to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So that is what Bhagavatam is. Right? Okay? Lalita? ¿Cómo está? So, okay, does anybody have any question or comment? Anything to add?
Who are the asuras?
Who are
Can
the?
you explain what are the asura?
Asura.
Yeah.
Those who are against Krishna, they are asura. Those who do not want to follow Krishna, they are asura. And those who follow Krishna, they are suras or devotees. Devotees and demons. Those who follow Krishna, they are devotees. Those who are opposed to Krishna, against Krishna, inimical to Krishna, they are demons.
Maharaj, you had explained earlier that how when you go to the first grade, the children are reading one book, but in the higher grades there's many books. So we can see like most of the people, they're like those children, like Subhas or whatever. So,
Yeah.
So isn't there a need to
One book.
almost simplify things?
Yeah, Prabhupada said Bhagavad Gita is the one.
But
Bhag-
they see that as a foreign kind of book.
Yeah.
They don't identify with it.
Then you have to write something. No, I'm serious. You have so many ideas about presenting this knowledge. The Christians, that's what Guru Gauranga is thinking. The Christians should be made to understand that in Christianity, when Jesus said that he will come back again, that is Srila Prabhupada. Somebody will come and give the knowledge. So true Christians will recognize that. You are a Catholic or Protestant?
I was brought up Catholic.
Catholic. Okay, so you're a Christian. Now,
Officially.
did you find Jesus' teachings in a perfect way through Srila Prabhupada?
Yeah, there are the Vedic knowledge is completely
Right, yeah.
in harmony with Jesus.
Yeah, yeah. It's a perfect harmony with
There's
Jesus.
a perfect
Right.
harmony.
So, get fired up, Guru Gauranga.
And actually there is a knowledge where there is said that Jesus was also vegetarian because he used to spend time with a school, with a philosophical school that is called the Esseni.
Yeah, Jesus was actually in the scene.
Yeah.
Because he was born in
Oh,
Nazareth.
Ascent, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the people in Nazareth, they were Nazarenes, which is the married version of the Essenes. And the Essenes were all vegetarian.
Yeah.
That's what she's saying.
Yeah, right. Vegetarian, not vegan.
Vegetarian. But there was no industrial, way of dealing with cows.
Yeah, true. I was joking.
That's
Yeah.
Okay, so how was the class? I told you I'll tell stories. Did you like the story today? Aishwarya? So now are you going to dance in ecstasy?
I sing
Express
if you want.
express your inner joy? Thank you.